Hello, you Sketch Club users, you you, all of the people that watch me for various reasons. Um, and now we've got banging noises outside. Many people on the app I use, this is called Sketch Club, and I create drawings using the vector tool, which um, is my go-to tool because it's fast. I have an attention span that's maybe this long, maybe maybe that long. So I work fast. I don't get trapped with details. I like to go quickly, and this tool allows me to very quickly make shapes, and I can build a drawing just using shapes. So let's make a real drawing. What will I draw? What can I draw here that where you can see this? Let's make a still life of a scissors and a magnifying glass in a heap. And God, drawing on a slanted surface sucks because everything wants to slide down. So here's my still life, beautiful still life. Now let's draw that. So it's a scissors, a ink bottle, and a magnifying glass. And often what I do is I start with sometimes a color, sometimes black, sometimes white. Here I'm just going to make it in black and white just so you can see how it works more easily because, okay, so I'm going to record it on the app. So you'll see this thing recording. I think I don't know exactly how the recording works, whether it's records actual minutes, but sometimes, I do a drawing and it says it takes a minute. Well, sometimes I know it takes longer than a minute, but it says it's a minute. So I think if I stop right now and go drink a cup of coffee or have lunch or get a long phone call, when I'm not making a mark, I think it calls it doesn't count. And for those people that are artists, you know that much of the time that we spend making a drawing or a painting is sitting there looking at it, deciding, what do I want to add a brushstroke over there? And you ponder and you think and you ponder and you think. And then you screw up as much courage as you can to make that brushstroke. Well, in digital medium, you got that undo tool that's so convenient because you can just say, that looks ugly. I'm just going to take it off. And you take it off and it's done. But I try not to do undo because it gets in my way and it makes me think too much. And I don't want to undo. I I'm happy with my mistakes in life. Yeah, I should never have gone on that date. Yeah, that would have been better if I didn't ever go on that date or say hello to that person. My life would be much better. But I did say hello to that person. I did go on that date. I did buy that stupid thing. I did sell that really great thing for not very much money. And so, you know, you you live with it. So if I do make a mistake, rather than undoing it, I'll just cover it up with another stroke. It's much easier, faster. And so as you see, what I did, I started with gray, I add dark, now I'm adding light, and I could be adding color, I could be adding um, a different layer. There's all sorts of things one can do here that I'm not doing. But I just thought people that use this app that are amazed at how fast I can draw. Well, part of the reason I draw fast is I'm using this tool that allows me to very quickly fill in an area with a color or a value. Now, I could use a paintbrush to do this, but then I have to do this, la 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 la, and that takes too long. I just do that. One stroke, I'm done. When I'm done with this drawing, not that this is like about as bad a drawing as I've ever done, and I'm showing it to you just as an example of how I build this. But if I were to upload this drawing, which I will do on the Sketch Club app, it'll say that I used one tool, I used 200 strokes, it took me 3 minutes or whatever it'll say, and I did 2 undos, maybe. I don't know what it'll say, we'll find out. So, but I'm just, again, showing you how I do this. What I often do also is when I get a drawing that I think is kind of done, I might just make it all a little bit darker, and then I go back with light and really brighten up the areas that are really sort of extra sparkly. And in this particular case, because I've turned off the light on my desk so that you can see what I'm doing better, there's not a lot of sparkle happening. There, I'll make this scissors look particularly lethal. If you've ever seen the Alfred Hitchcock movie, Wrong Number, is that what it's called? Sorry, Wrong Number, or it's the one that he made that was in 3D, and what's her name? Grace Kelly is our starlet, and she uses a pair of scissors to dispatch the person that her husband hired to kill her. Sorry, Wrong Number, is that it? Look it up, people, if you're interested. So this is my masterpiece, I'll say, is an homage to Alfred Hitchcock's. What is the name of that movie? Well, people in the comments can let me know what the name of that movie is. I did see it in 3D at a retrospective, and it was pretty 3D. You know, I don't think 3D adds anything to the experience of watching a movie. Neither does the scratch and sniff, smellorama or whatever it is. I think, when you add so many bells and whistles to an art form, then whatever message you might be having becomes more and more diluted. Hello, Gary Scott. One of the person I'm talking to now. I'm broadcasting this live, by the way, so that people on YouTube can watch and comment. And sometimes I invite them in to play with pens or do drawings with or whatever. So, but this is mainly, the reason I'm doing this mainly is to show people on this app the Sketch Club app, which I love, how I build these drawings. So let's just see. I'll stop the drawing now. How do I stop it? Stop. And here's how I drew it. I'll save that, export, and then I'm going to say done, and I'm going to upload this to my, so it's going to be, how do I make this go away? Homage, I'll just call it scissors, scissors, go. So this will be uploaded to this app, and then later I will add the this YouTube video right here. I will upload that, and people can see and hear me as I talk. So this app is called Sketch Club, and I'm known as Mr. Pencil Man, and I have 49,134 glops. A glop is a reaction to an image that I put up. It could be someone giving it a heart. It could be something, I don't know. I haven't figured it out what a glop is. So let's see what my sketch stats are. Okay, it took me 10 minutes to make this. According to the time on this thing, it took 11 minutes. So yes, 10 minutes is probably correct. 230 brush strokes. I have one layer and no undos. So there you go. That's the stats. So now I will go back to the thing. And often what I do when I go out drawing with a group or just by myself, I might use the same document. I'll just add a new layer, and I will pick a new color, and I'll draw the same image using a different tool this time. And I'm going to use a pen, and the pen is going to be a fountain pen, and I've got it set to be a certain size and a certain opacity. And we'll see what I can do here. This will look a little bit different. Oh, shit. I want to record this one too. Start. And so I'll do the same drawing using the pen tool. And the pen tool on this particular iPad and this particular setting, I'm able to press down and it will get fatter. And it might get a little brighter. So we'll see what happens here. It's really a nice app. It's sort of, I joined many years ago, and I described it then as being an app that was the love child of Photoshop and Facebook, because it was such a social thing, which I didn't know for years until I had to upload it again and pick a screen name or a username and things like that. And I didn't ever bother to look at the social side of this thing, but the social side is really good. It's a great community. The owner of the app, the developer, who is not an artist really, he's a techie, but he really loves the community that he's created. And he's very kind and helpful. When you have a suggestion, he listens to it. And well, you don't need the pencil. You can use your finger. For the tool I normally use, which is the vector tool, I don't need a pencil. A finger does exactly all it needs to do. Um, and so now I'm going to make it a very narrow line and more opaque. And come up with different version here of this. The lightest areas are right here on that magnifying glass. But because I want the scissors to look particularly lethal and sharp, I'm exaggerating that one. I forgot the ink bottle, but it's okay. There are other tools I like, and I also like to create my own brushes. So let's stop this one. Stop. Here's that one recorded, which isn't all that interesting, but I'll save it anyway, just because why not? Done. Done. Now I'm gonna create a brush, color fill white, and I'm gonna create a brush that looks like a human skull. And then it'll turn into a brush in a minute. So let me make a human skull. When I was growing up, we did have, in fact, a human skull in our house. I mean, a human skull that wasn't inside of a living body. It was just a human skull. And my parents went to Hawaii, and rather than buying, the coconut that's shaped into a duck or whatever you can buy at the tourist shops, they went to a flea market, and they had some guy selling human skulls. He had two of them, and my parents bought one. So growing up on a shelf in the living room was the human skull. And I brought it into show and tell. And fourth grade, I remember my fourth grade teacher being particularly impressed by Pierre Gustafson's show and tell thing. Other people brought in, a fork. Thank you, Billy, for bringing in that fork. We've never seen one before. And knowing Billy, no, I'm making up Billy, and I'm just imagining Billy, who eats with his fingers at lunchroom. But so here's a skull. So what I do is I take the select tool, select the skull, go over here to brushes, go to add a brush, create from selection. Then I can flows full spacing. I want the spacing to be far apart so I can see them. The pressure is done by size, and I want it to follow shape. I want this to follow. And you don't have to know what all of this means, but that I'm just showing you what all of it means. Okay, this is what I do. So now I have a brush that looks like that. I'll show you how my brush works. So we clear this, color fill. We'll make it black. We'll go to my brushes, find the skull. I'm using white, make it big. So what I'm doing, oh, see, there. I'm making skulls. So the app is called What happened to the skull? You're asking. My brother has it. So I'm going to do a drawing now for Ukraine. So I'm going to take a yellow and I'm going to make a vector. Here's yellow, 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 and here's blue. Blue, 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 blue. So there's our Ukrainian flag. And here is what's happening. The Russians are dropping bombs on Ukraine. And then we go to our brush and we go to our, what color do I want this to be? Black, I guess. So here's our, whoops, too big. Skulls. You have to have the sound effects. Here's our mushroom cloud. They're not using mushroom clouds, I guess, are they? So add some white ones. Just so there's my political statement here. Lots of skulls. Save changes. You're half Ukrainian. Okay, what is the other half you are? Scottish. Gary Scott. So anyway, that's how it's done. So now what I'm going to do is stop this broadcast and I'll upload the things that I just made to YouTube, to Sketch Club, and I'll link this YouTube I just made to it so people in Sketch Club can see how Mr. Pencil Man creates these things. Bye.